Hello everyone, I am Faith Godbold from A Touch of Faith. Welcome to my channel. This is a beautiful harvest fall wreath and I actually used two techniques to create this gorgeous base. Be sure to keep watching so you can find out how I made this. I think you're going to love it. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you'd like to purchase this kit, be sure to check out my website or Etsy shop linked in the description box below. And while you're at it, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you receive notifications when we add new tutorials. Okay, let's get started. Let's prep our mesh, and I wanted to try something a little different. I was thinking of doing ruffles, but we're going to combine ruffles with some curls. So let's start by cutting our mesh. And for this technique, if you decide to do both the curls with the ruffles, you will need both of your rolls. However, if you want to create two wreaths, then you can condense this down and then just use the one roll. We're going to cut our curls today at 10 inches and we'll cut our ruffles at 20 inches. So if you wanted to try to get two wreaths out of your rolls, just stick with the ruffles, okay? All right, let me use my scissors because I did not grab my little paper holder that I use for my mesh. So we're going to cut these at 20 inches, and I've already cut two pieces. So we're going to need a total of 18 pieces cut at 20 inches. And I'm just going to use my rotary cutter since I'm doing a technique where the mesh will pretty much be contained. I don't need to worry about wood burning. However, if you want to take the time to wood burn, you certainly could. So we're just going to cut these at 20 inches. And this part usually goes pretty quick. So let's see, this one's close. That's 18, so we can count this one. So we'll see how many pieces that is. All right, and then we'll come back and we will cut the mesh for our curls in a few minutes. So we're going to do ruffles to start. So here is our wreath form. This is a 14-inch wreath form. And we're going to start on the inside welds. Okay, so we have 6 sections here. So if you take a look at your sections, they are separated by what I like to call weld marks, just like so. And so we are just simply going to take our pipe cleaners and we're going to start with the 2 inside. And if you've watched any of my tutorials in the group, you know how I do this. So I'm going to wire up the inner 2 and I'm going to go around that particular, those 2 bars, and I'm just going to wire it up. So I like to do the inside first, and I do it directly in the middle where we have those crossbars. And then we're going to move and do the outside, and we're going to find where those weld marks are and find the middle point here. And we are just simply going to use the weld and the middle, and that's going to be our midpoint. Okay, so the weld in the middle will be our midpoint, and I'm going to wire in between the middle pipe cleaner and the weld, and we're going to wire the outside too. Okay, just like so. And then let's do the same thing on this side. So using my center that I did on the inside as my guide, I'm going to wire between the weld and the center and go halfway in the middle. So we will end up with 3 pipe cleaners per section, and there are 6 sections, so that's going to make a grand total of 18 pipe cleaners when we're done. And you'll have enough pipe cleaners when you're finished to not only wire your wreath, but you'll have some to add your sign and also a bow. So you have 24 pipe cleaners. So you'll have plenty of materials to create your beautiful wreath. And I want to see how your wreath turns out. So after you create yours, be sure to share your pictures in our group. I'm going to go ahead and just fold these down because we will not use them all at once. So we'll actually start with the outside and move to the inside. All right, so let's go ahead and get those out of the way. So now that we have that, let's grab our mesh. And we're going to start by doing some basic ruffles. So if you've done a ruffle before, you want to place the curl side facing downward. And of course, the closer you are to the end of the roll, it's going to roll up on you. So sometimes I'll just put my scissors down just to hold it. Okay. All right. And then all we're going to do to create our ruffle is we literally are just going to find the middle and we're going to scrunch up the middle. Now, if you've watched me before, you know I like to turn the bottom up just a little so that I can hide that finished edge. So I'm going to just tuck the bottom edge up just a little. And then I know for me, the middle is this gold and the orange. So now I'm going to just place my index fingers and I'm literally just walking it up the middle and my thumbs are just kind of staying there. All right, then I take my scissors off and I'm going to kind of tuck it again at the end, just like so. And if you create your ruffle correctly, it should sort of look like a butterfly. If it's not even on both sides, you can slightly pull to get your ends even. And then all we're going to do is just place this in. And today I'm going to place it so that the ruffle part is going up and down. Okay, so I'm going to place it in just like so, starting on the outside and give it a couple of twists. All right, and look at how beautiful that looks. And do you see how with your edges tucked in, you don't see anything? If you have any little fray pieces, which these will be covered by the ribbon, but you can always just go back and cut those little pieces. All right, so let's do another one. Okay, so we're going to grab another piece of mesh, just like so. And we're going to turn the end under slightly. All right, and then we're going to just start ruffling up the middle till we get to the end. Then we get rid of the scissors and I tuck it under just a little bit, just like so. All right, and then I like to check it on both sides, making sure it looks pretty even, and it does. And I'm going to place it in with the ruffle part going up and down. Now, if you're only doing ruffles, if this is not thick enough for you, you can always go back and increase your cut. So instead of doing 20 inches, if you're only doing ruffles, you may want to do your ruffles at 30 inches so that you get nice, good coverage on your base. Okay. And so we're just giving it a couple of twists, just like so. So I've done the two on the outside. All right, what do y'all think about that? Does that look pretty good? And then all I'm doing is just kind of taking the mesh and making it lay on top, overlapping it, just like so. All right, let's go do that inside one now. So all I'm going to do is just move those pipe cleaners down so I can get directly to it, just like that, because I'm trying to just stack the mesh on top. All right, this one's really tight because it came from the middle. All right, so let's use this one. Let's unroll it. This would be perfect for a curl, wouldn't it? Because it's all the way rolled up. All right, there we go. So let's tuck it just slightly. And this might have been one of those short pieces. So I'm going to put the little short ones on the inside. Remember, I almost started running out. So we have like 18. And it's not going to be obvious because we're going to have our curls on top. And moving those pipe cleaners out of the way, just like so. And then I'm just dropping it right on top. Just like so. So see how the layers are building up on top of each other? And if you need to, you can move things around. Just make sure each little piece has its own home. And you want your pipe cleaners to be easily accessible because you're going to come back and add those curls to it. All right, let's keep going. So here are our last two ruffles. These are already made up, so I'm going to go ahead and just add them on the wreath, just like so. And I agree, this is looking really nice. I love this mesh. Anytime I can find like the metallic mesh where it has the colors that transcend and kind of change, I love it. Some of my favorite mesh. All right, so let's get that last one added. All right, so we're going to add that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and cut our curls while we're at it. So we're going to need 2 curls per pipe cleaner, and we're going to need roughly 36. So let's cut these at 10 inches. And I already have 4 cut. So I'm just going to cut 32 pieces real quick. And so not only is the Bodabra useful for making bows, but I like to use it to hold my curls. So I'm going to make a few curls, and then as we make our curls, I'm going to place them in the Bodabra, just like so. Okay, so how do we make a curl? We are just simply going to allow the mesh to curl. So we want it curl side up. And let me use my scissors so I can kind of model this for you. And then you're going to take your cut edge, and that first edge, you want it to sort of be flattened. So I'm going to flatten it, and then I'm going to start rolling from there, and I'm going to roll it all the way until I roll it up at the end. And that's how you make a curl, just like that. And then I'm going to drop that curl straight down in the Bodabra just so it can hold it for me. So I'm using my Bodabra as an extra set of hands, if you will. All right, so repeat that again, just rolling it up, just like so, and drop it in. You can get about 5 curls in the Bodabra, so I'm going to roll about 5 or 6, and then we'll start adding them to the wreath, okay? And you don't need to do the scissors, but I'm just doing the scissors so that you could see my hands and see what I'm doing. So normally when I do a curl, I just do it like this. I just start rolling, rolling, rolling. And I'm putting it in with that fold side going in. All right. By the 5th one, it's going to start to come out a bit. So what I typically do is I put that 5th one in, and then the 6th one, I'll make it and I won't put it in. I'll just hold it. All right, just like so. All right, so there we have it. So let's grab a curl. So we're going to take 2 curls, and I'm just going to put the 2 curls together just like this. You could cross them if you want. All right, and then all we're going to do is place them in a pipe cleaner, just like so. And see how pretty? That just adds a little bit more texture to the wreath. Let me zoom in so you can see it. What do y'all think? You like that? So we're just going to go around and add 2 curls to each little pipe cleaner. So I'm going to grab 2 more. Okay. Put them together. If you want, you can go ahead and cross them just like so. And then if you want to, you can kind of pinch them after you cross them. And then we're going straight in the pipe cleaner. So that's why we left our pipe cleaners open so we could get to them. And then I'm just adding in a few curls. So all I'm doing is just crossing the 2 and then kind of pinching it so it looks like an X. And then I'm doing that before I place it in. And then just twist it 2 or 3 times, just like that. All right. Gorgeous, right? I love it. All right, so we're going to make some more. And we're just going to continue that all the way around. So it goes pretty quick. And then we'll add some ribbon tails. We'll probably add a bow, put our sign on. And now I'm thinking about all of the fall embellishments that I have that I would love to see how they look. All right, last one. Right here. Let me grab that pipe cleaner. There we go. All right, y'all love it? Y'all like it? All right, so that is our beautiful base. It is very nice and full. If we wanted, we could just cut the pipe cleaners, add the sign, and stop right here. But we're going to add some beautiful ribbon. All right, so let me show you the ribbon that we have. And I showed it at the beginning of the first slide, but I'm going to show it again. And I think what we're going to do for right now is let's plan to add ribbon to the outside. We're going to come back and see what we want to do for the inside. All right, so here's our ribbon. All right, we have some of this beautiful yellow. Look at this, that yellow and brown. It's like a gingham check. So we're going to add some tails of that. And you get 3 yards of each of the ribbon. Okay, so you have plenty of ribbon to add tails and also add a bow. All right, so there's our 3 yards there. We also have a beautiful solid brown. So we're going to add some of it. This one is also 2.5 inch ribbon, just like the gingham check. So we have some beautiful brown. And I just kind of unrolled everything so I could see what we had. I love this one. Some beautiful sunflower ribbon right here. Look at that. We have the yellow and the greens, brown and natural. Okay. And then lastly, we have some metallic plaid ribbon, and it features some browns and naturals. Okay. Some orange. So let's cut our 2.5 inch. Let's do 13-inch pieces. And then the 1.5 inch, we will cut those at approximately 18 inches, and we'll make some half bows out of that. All right. So I have already cut one of the gingham check. So let's cut 3 of each of the pieces. That's the one that I made earlier. All right. So let's move our ribbon. And one more. So this is going to make sure we have enough ribbon for the outside, and then we'll see where we're going to place our sign. I think I kind of want to make a larger bow because the sign is smaller, and then we'll see what we have left for the inside. Okay. All right. All right, so let's grab our wreath, and we're just going to add some ribbon tails along the outside. So I've already prepped the ribbon, and I've already folded the ribbon because I'm going to use that fold to know where the ribbon goes. All right, so let's start with this sunflower ribbon. That fold that I made, I'm going to just scrunch up that middle, and I'm going to place the ribbon in the pipe cleaners just like so. Give it a couple of twists. And we are probably going to be done with the outside pipe cleaners. So let's go ahead and cut them. Normally I don't cut them. I like to wait, but I think we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut them. And that means everything I'm placing in will stay exactly where it is. And I don't need these pipe cleaners for anything, so I'm not going to save them. I'm literally going to just tuck them down just like that. All right, so when I put that ribbon on, I literally took that pipe cleaner. See if you can see that. And I pressed that pipe cleaner down, and I'm hiding it behind the ribbon. So I'll show you that on the next one, just like that. Does that look good? All right, let's do that again. So let me show you what I did. I took the next color, so this time it's this one. All right, I'm going to pinch it in some, just like so. Twist it about 4 times, all right? And then I'm going to cut that pipe cleaner off just like this, close to the tip. Okay, I cut it. And then once I cut it, I'm going to take it right there and press it down to hide it. So that's your little tip for how you hide your pipe cleaners. All right. So I'm just going around. Now this time I want to make a half bow. So for the half bow, what I'm going to do is take my ribbon. I'm not going to crease it, but I am folding it in half, just like so. So I'm not creasing it, but I'm folding it in half. And then I'm going to come down about 2 inches and scrunch. Then we're going to go back to the wreath, find the next pipe cleaner, and then I'm going to put that half bow in. So I'm putting the tip of the half bow in, giving it a couple of twists. And then because now the left side is technically the wrong side, even though you can't tell it. I mean, you could get away with just leaving it the way it is. But normally what I do is I twist that left so it's the right side again. And then we're going to take that loop from the half bow and fluff it out. And I usually like to do my fluff after I cut the pipe cleaners because they will get smushed. So let me go ahead and tighten and tighten. I'm going to go ahead and cut the pipe cleaner off. Go ahead and I'm going to tuck it behind the half bow. And then now I'm going to fluff it out just like so. And you just take your fingers and you make your ribbon do what you need it to do, just like that. And that's how you do a half bow. All right, let's do our brown. So we're going to scrunch right up the middle, just like this. And then we're going straight for the next pipe cleaner. And I'm going to twist and twist and twist a couple of times. Trim it down. All right, there we go. And now that one's in. Okay, and then I like to fan my ribbons out. Okay, last one. All right, so we are going to prep our sign and then we'll create a bow and we'll see if we need any more ribbon tails for the inside. And this is what we have so far, ladies. What do y'all think? All right, so look at that beautiful sign, and I can see all sorts of places. I can kind of see it here, and then maybe we put a bow right there. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. Big bow here, sign here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one down. This will be for our bow. Okay. And then let's put the sign there. Let's make sure. Yeah, I think sign right there. So I'm not going to trim this just in case. I'm going to put a clip on it for right now, and that will be my reminder that we're planning for the sign to go right there. Okay, so I put a clip there. All right, so let's go ahead and prep our sign. We have our mounting squares, and we're going to flip them up. And what we're going to do is you receive 2 of the little adhesive mounts to go on them. So you're going to peel it, and then you want to put that sticky side facing down just like so, directly on that mount. Okay, on that cable tie mount. Just like that. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing on this one. So we peel that backing off. Then we're going to press it down directly on the square, that little foam piece. And let's go ahead and put the squares on. And we'll put some hot glue around the squares just to give it a little extra backing. Okay, so we're going to place those squares down just like so. And when our glue is ready, we're going to come back and we will add some glue to it. All right, let's make a bow, y'all. So I think I want to go bigger on the bow so that we have a little bit more for the sign. All right, so let's move this out of the way. And I think I'm going to put my favorite ribbon on top. And I usually like to end with the 1.5 inch. So I might end with that. We'll see. We'll see as we go. All right, so I'm going to start with the brown because that's the one that doesn't have a design at all. And for this particular bow, let's go ahead and cut our tail. And we're going to make our tail about 9 inches, okay? Because I really want to go long and big on this one. So this is bigger than what I normally would do for my bows. All right, so I'm going to use my mat since my easy bow maker, and this is also available if you need a bow maker other than the bow dabber. This is available on shoplikefayth.com. All right, so let's measure 9 inches. My easy bow maker only goes to 8 inches, so I'm just using my mat. I could have measured here and gone out, but here's my 9 inches. And I'm going to twist. So I'm dropping it in right side facing upward, and then I'm twisting. And actually, I'm going to go a little over. So we can go even a little bit bigger than that. So let's do 7 inches. Because we really want this bow to shine, y'all. All right, so I'm at almost 7 inches for my loops. All right, I twisted it and I looped it. And now I'm on the right side. So we're going to do 1 loop of each color. And then we need to cut this off at the 9 inch mark, just like that. And you can see I still have about 1/2 yard of ribbon left. So we still have some ribbon remaining. All right, so let's go ahead and trim that down. Dovetail the ends. All right, and I'm going to fluff it as I go. So that's going to be our bottom layer. All right, next. So let's add in some of this gingham next. So let's bring our tails in slightly. So let's do about 8 inches on the tails. So I'm going to scrunch it and then twist it as I drop it in. Since my last tail is going up, I'm going to bring this tail down. And then let's make these loops about 6 inches. Okay. So literally I'm going to loop it, measure it, and prepare to twist because I know I need to twist it to get the right side back facing upward. Okay. So there's our 6 inches. I twisted it. Now that we're back on the right side, let's loop it again. And let's go back and do about 6 inches. And there's no need to twist because we're not going to do any other loops. So we're just going to loop it. And then let's cut this at about 8 inches. Okay. And you can see this is the ribbon that I have remaining that we could use for another project. Or I could make another bow. So we might do that. We could add another bow to this design if we wanted and have 2 bows. We'll see. We'll see what we want to do. All right, y'all loving it so far? So this is what we have. And I literally like to fluff as I go so I can see how it's going to look. So let's get the sunflower next. So we're going to dovetail the ends. So let's do about 6 inches. And if we have to trim it, we will. There we go. All right, 6 inches, because I want that to be kind of close to this one. Okay, 5.5 inches. So I'm moving this out of the way so I can see my ruler. Okay, so there's our 5.5 inches. All right, twist it and loop it again. And let's come out. Same thing, about 5.5. All right. And then let's cut it at about 6. Okay, and there's our leftovers right here. All right, let's dovetail that end. Ooh, that's looking so pretty. Okay, so I'm doing just like we did before to dovetail it. All right, last layer of our bow. Let's do the metallic plaid stripe. So we're going to dovetail the ends. And this one looks the same on both sides, but if you look carefully, you can tell the seam, like the edge. All right, let's do 5.5. So I'm going to pinch it, loop it. Once I put it in, go ahead and pinch, twist it. Get ready to loop it. And this one will do 5 inches. So we're going pretty big on the bow. All right, and then let's trim our tail at about 6 inches. All right, and there's our leftovers. Okay, let's dovetail. All right, let's get one of those pipe cleaners. And we are just going to take our fingers, place it carefully around our bundle, lift everything up. Okay, and then take your pipe cleaner and you want to drape it around that middle part of your bow that you just took off of the bow maker. And I like to get my pipe cleaner in half here. And then literally I just take the whole bow stack and I force it up like that while I twist. So I'm twisting the bow just like that. Just twist the bow. You don't have to twist your hand. Okay? Just like that. All right, let's finish fluffing and then we'll get the bow added to the wreath. And you can see it's pretty much already fluffed from where we did all of our fluffing on the bow maker. So I'm just doing one more check of the tails, making sure everything is all fluffed, standing prominent. You just put your fingers in the loops and you make these layers do what you need them to do. Once we get it on the wreath, if we need certain things to move around, we can certainly move them around. Okay. All right, so let's grab our wreath. And then we'll go ahead and get that bow added. And we also need to add, let's do that first while the table is still clear. So here's another pipe cleaner. So we're going to add some hot glue to the edge here. So all I'm going to do is just go around the corners on the edge here, just to give it a little added adhesive so it'll stay in place. Just like that. And let's do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll let it set. Okay, we'll give that just a few minutes to set while we put our wreath and the bow together. All right, so let's do that. And remember, I already cut the pipe cleaner and I marked where I think we're going to put the sign. So let's put our bow right here. And y'all look, you see why I went big on the bow? Because I knew that sign was going to be smaller. I really wanted the bow to be big and prominent today. Normally I do smaller bows, but I wanted, something to really take up space and to stand out. All right, so we're going to take the pipe cleaner and let's feed through the mesh. I'm going to turn around so I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to feed through the mesh on both sides where we just tightened that pipe cleaner. And I'm going straight through the mesh and going down to the frame. If your mesh is super thick, you can double click on your pipe cleaners. All right, and then I have it in, and I don't want to pull it too tight, because if you pull too tight, watch what happens. Your bow starts to sink like that. So you don't want to pull too tight. You just want to pull enough to where you can get it on there. And then I'm going to turn it over and show y'all what I'm doing. So this is what it looks like on the other side. I have the pipe cleaners. Let me zoom in so you can see. The pipe cleaners are in. And what I like to do is go around the frame. So I'm going to make this one go underneath the frame. So I'm going around one of the bars. So I'm going to literally just twist a couple of times. Twist, twist, twist. And I'm not going to finish tightening it yet. So I want to make sure that this is what I want. Okay. So it is in position. So let's look at it. I don't think it's smushed. I don't think it's too loose. I'm going to just check it. Make sure I can still fluff everything out. If I need to tighten it, I'll go back on the other side and adjust. And then I like to kind of take my fingers and angle my tails downward, just like so. Okay. And then if anything's too long, we'll go back and trim things up. But I'm thinking it looks pretty good so far. What do y'all think? I actually love how it's coming together. I think that looks pretty great. Just like that. Okay. All right. Let's see if our sign is ready. Feels like it is. All right. So let's put those pipe cleaners in. So we are literally going to attach the sign left to right, just like that. You could do up and down. Since I see a pipe cleaner here, we may end up using both of these two pipe cleaners now that I look at it. So let's go ahead and wire it in. So I'm going straight in the hole, the two holes here. Meet it halfway, meet the pipe cleaner halfway, and then give it a couple of twists just to make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, doing the same thing. I'm feeding it in left to right. You could go up and down if you were positioning yours where you're going to attach it vertically. You certainly could go up and down. All right, so there's our beautiful sign. All right, let's go ahead and cut these 2 pipe cleaners down because I think we're going to use both of these. So I'm literally just cutting and then I'm pushing them down into the mesh, just hiding them. All right, and then I think we want the sign right there. So let's try that. So I'm going to feed it through, one on each side where those pipe cleaners were. All right, and then I'm going to look on the back and see, I like to go around the bar. So if it's not going around the bar, I go ahead and force it to go around the bar. And then I'm not going to tighten it just yet because I want to see how everything is. Okay, so I tighten it just a little, maybe too much. So let me untighten it a little bit so I can turn it. So I'm going to pull back so I can grab it. There we go. Okay, so you want to tighten just a little bit, not a whole lot. Okay. And then I can go ahead and get this one added. So I think I want it right here. So I'm going around that area where the pipe cleaner was. All right, and then I'm going to turn it over again. Try not to smush the bow. And if it's not going around, then I'm going to make it go around just like that. So I'm going around a bar. Okay. All right. Then I want to angle it more like that. All right, that's how I want it. So while it's like that, now I'm going to pull it. I'm looking on the back so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to tighten this one first, and then I hopefully can adjust. And we'll straighten the bow back up and all that fun stuff. Okay, and you can make that sign do what you need it to do. All right, then we can straighten everything back out. What are y'all thinking so far? Y'all like it? I think I love it. Now, if we wanted to, we have one pipe cleaner we didn't do anything with there. We have one here. You could add a ribbon tail here and here if you felt like you wanted another little piece. So let's see, for example, you could cut another strip. I would do 15 inches on the inside. Let's pick a color that's not there. So let's do brown, for example. So if you wanted, you could cut another brown piece. So I'm just cutting, folding in half. All right. Okay. All right. And then right here, this pipe cleaner that I did not use, watch this, y'all. We could go right here. And you could drop that ribbon tail in. Just like so. And now you have something in that little spot. See what I mean? And then I'm going to make it come out. So you could add a piece there. All right, let's see if we want to add a piece over here. So we already have those two. Let's use the metallic because we don't have that over here. One more half bow, and I would do about 20 inches. And I think that's what we have. So let's use what we have. So 20 inches. I'm going to make a half bow. And then I'm going right here in that pipe cleaner. And on the inside, I like to make the half bow a little bit bigger so they stand out more. because sometimes you don't see them on the inside. Okay, so see right here, and I'll go back and cut those pipe cleaners in a second. Make that stand up more, and then bring this out. Just like that. And let me turn it around so I can see it. And that's why I love wired ribbon, y'all, because you can make it and shape it and literally make it do what you want it to do. All right, so what do y'all think? Y'all like it with those extra pieces added? So that's optional if you want to add. Oh, and there was one more right there, but I'm not going to do anything on that one since the bow is there. So let me get this one. So remember, we had 6 pipe cleaners on the inside. And usually if the bow is in the way, like if the bow covers, I don't worry about putting anything on those. So I'm going to just cut that down. Another idea is you could put some streamers. So like if you didn't want to add all of the ribbon tails that we added, if you didn't want to add a big bow, you could put streamers coming down and going all the way around the design, just like that. All right. So there we have it. This is our fall wreath kit number 1. All right, you all, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. After I finished recording this, I decided to go back and add in some sunflowers from my stash and some fall florals, and I absolutely love how they turned out. If you purchase this kit and you make this wreath, I would love to see how yours turns out. Be sure to share your photos with me online. To see more of my videos, make sure you like this one and subscribe to my YouTube channel. To see more of my wreath designs, visit my website at www.atofaith.com. And to learn how to make wreaths and so much more, you can join Faith's Creative Circle at www.learnfromfaith.com. As always, be blessed. Love you all so much.